How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation. It's time to get that imagination all cranked up, get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Greig Rapson. Might be Greig. Let me know, comments below. Like always, he's a beautiful artist. I love his work. Character designer extraordinaire. It's got stylings that are kind of a mix of the imagination of like a Miyazaki blended with the art sensibilities of like a Sergio Brosis. Like that's how you pronounce his name too. But he just is wonderful. I love his stuff. It's so creative, so wild, so wacky, and just really on par. I love the way that his line work is. I feel like it's really sharp, but also has a little bit of that animation roughness to it that I really appreciate as well. And just perfect coloring. I love those kind of muted, flatter colors. Personally, that's more of where I'm drawn to. I just think he's great in this one. Love Wild. It's great. Phenomenal stuff. Great structure, great layout, great composition. But most of all, I think his character designs are just really unique and wonderful. He's got these great sensibilities to his work of kind of elongated mix between fat and skinny that really works well for him. It's this nice like rhythm in his characters where you'll get like a skinny upper arm and a fatter forearm, and then the skinny fingers. There's like this rhythm in his work that's beautiful. Or right here where you see like kind of it's the thick and thin moving back and forth that I just love. And he does it really well, and really unique take on anatomy as well. So definitely check out more of his stuff. I'm a huge fan. I love every piece that I've seen of his stuff. I will throw a link in the description below. And I did just have a quick little quote from him, and I think this one is just straight to the point. Fill those sketchbooks. It's just about, like we talk about all the time, it's about getting behind the seat of the computer, or getting at that drawing table, or getting in front of your clay if you need to sculpt, or getting that instrument in your hands, or any of that kind of stuff. We can talk till we're blue in the face, but at some point, you gotta just do it. And I think that's a great thing for anyone who's a creative person, to just be reminded to fill those sketchbooks, play that music, whatever it is that you want to do it, and you'll just get better with time and practice. And it's an interesting thing that forget if it was Stan Prokopenko or Secret on YouTube. Both awesome people. Check their YouTube channels out. But they were talking about trying to practice in intelligent ways, so you're not just wasting your time too, which is an interesting discussion to have as well. So check out their channels. I'm sure you can find it over there. But let's go ahead and get into some animation. This is the Deer rig. It's a free rig. You can grab it over at Creative Crash. And if you're not familiar with what we'll be doing for the rest of the videos, we give ourselves 48 frames, give or take a few here and there. And I go off and find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with as well. And I will throw links to everything in the description below. And I would kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, just hang out with me while I animate. A little bit of talking through the process or instruction. But mainly the bulk of the goal of doing these videos each and every day is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and take another step in your journey to master whatever creative medium you're passionate about. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive in here. For today, I think we're just going to do a little bit of a happy, frolicky walk cycle for this one. So let's make sure we have everything turned off except for under curves, NURB surfaces, and polygons. Start doing some pose work here. We're going to do little steps, but we're going to make them bouncy. And leave that pretty forward here. Just want to tweak our posing just a little bit if we can. And bring that down a little bit. Rotate that up a little bit more. The head up, maybe a little bit lower. Just want to create a more interesting pose if we can. And bring that in a little bit, tweak this, and this portion back here. And the ears, I think we'll pull those down a little bit. And the tips up a little bit here. Alright, still similar to the pose we started out with, but we added a little bit of character to it. One thing right here that feels a little, we might keep it. Almost wish that I'll tweak it a little bit more. There's just that little give in the line here. I want it to be a little bit smoother, so I'll probably do something like that. And then just pull the hips down just a little bit. Okay, so we'll start off with something like that. And yeah, I set our frame range from 0 to 48, which it already is. Go ahead and save our file. We are using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. Maya is a wonderful program. Love Autodesk and all of their great resources that they have out there. For more information, always check out the links in the description below. And let's go ahead and start. So we'll go ahead and grab everything and set our first key. And we'll start building this block here. So we'll go 10 frames forward. And actually, I want to go a little bit faster. We're going to go on 10s instead of 12s here. Which I think I just said 10 frames, but I meant to say 12. But then I wanted to do 10. Boy, that's one of those days today, huh? And that means we'll probably have to do 60 frames instead of, just so that it'll loop right. Bring that back and bring it forward. And then we'll grab the other side here. Go 20, bring it back. There, move that to 10, and then we'll switch back and forth here. Okay. I think we'll do littler moves on the feet, to the front feet here. So let's do window, animation editors, graph editor, and let's go translate Z. I'll go a little more forward and a little less back overall. Let's see. Okay. And start looking at the hips here. Put it up. And down. Up. Down. And up. And down. Up. We're just trying to build the foundation here for what we're going to be doing throughout. And then we'll loop back into where we started. So let's see. And let's clean that up a little bit more. Try and find a good balance and decide. I almost want to delay it about 2 frames as well, but we'll see. Thing with that is it doesn't always loop as well. If we switch that up and have something be 2 frames, we get a little bit of hitch there. Yeah, I think we might go a little bit lower. Yeah, let's try, like I said, delaying about 2 frames and see if we like it. Yeah, let's invert it. A little too much down, but that feels better. And then 5 frames from there, be 2. And clean that up and bring that down. Let's see. notice right away is how much these knees go on the front, or the bend here pops. So I have to be aware of that. I want to keep what I have for now because I feel like that works, but I want to try and work that out as we go. So that being said, let's go ahead and start building those passing positions here. And we're just going to go back in and just hit S on our keyboard again to make sure we locked in each one of those keys we have so far. And we'll go and raise them up here. And raise them up there. And we'll vary our timing and stuff from the front and the back legs as well. But let's keep going for it. Okay, and let's grab this side. We're going to go ahead and re-lock in all our keys again just to make sure that we've got them nailed down. And we'll go ahead and lift them up here. Lift them up there. And lift them up here. Let's see. Maybe we could do some stuff with the shoulders. Is that what's going to help us here? So let's try raising that up a little bit here. And then at 15 it would go down. And 25 it would go up. And 35 down. 45 up. 55 down. And go back again. Now we'd have to make sure that we go down enough here. Bring that there. Bring that there. Let's see. Alright, we gotta minimize that a little bit more. We want to keep it down until 20. And keep it down until 40. And bring that over. Okay. And we'll bring those scale back down again. A little bit less. And we'll look here. Just help to get a little bit more. Set that. Set it there. Set there. 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 There again. And we'll go and raise it up a little bit here. Raise it up a little bit here. Raise it up a little bit there. Okay. And let's start looking at the hips now. So I want to start out, actually let's look at the actual hip controller. And I'll rotate a little bit to favor the front planted foot. And the other side here, there, 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 and then back again. Okay, and we'll clean that up and even it out a little bit more. Make sure that it's hitting about the same amount on both sides. Let's see. And same here on the front. I want to do a little bit of. We don't have any. Okay, we'll have to do it this way. Do a little bit of rotate wide obviously we're going to have to scale this back a lot. I want to do something so we can get that working. And back again. Okay, and again, we'll scale it back. We don't need hardly any of that. It's way too much for right now. Let's clean that up a little bit more. Bring the original down a little bit more so we have somewhere to go with it. It doesn't have to be exactly even. Okay, and let's do a little bit of rotate Z here. Or not rotate Z, let's do rotate X in this case. That way, this way to favor the planted hoof. And let's zero it out. And let's clean that up as well. Looks okay from that angle at least. And let's do a little bit of translate. Maybe we'll just look here. Let's see. So we pushed over that, so it should move that way a little bit there. And this way a little bit there. That way. It's a different controller, this one, than usual. Usually you get like a spine break, not kind of an overall spine. So I gotta be aware that it's a little bit different approach than I normally do. Let's even that up a little bit. Yeah, let's check it out now. I'm going to minimize the amount of translation on these feet a little bit more. So, do less forward and less back as well. Okay, and let's check out here. And I'll do a little bit of rotate Z there. And the other way. This way. And back. This way. Back. And then zero. Oh. Now we'll clean that up again. See it now. Alright, and let's do a little bit of translation. This way, back, this way, back, this way, back, and zero it out again. this way there. Try to counter animate it so the neck's not going so much side to side. That's a little more focused forward. And zero it out. And we'll clean that up. Balance it out from both sides here. Let's see it now. Alright, and let's do a little bit of rotate. Y there, 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 and back again. And we need to do less rotate. X, or what would be Z in this case, so less bounce there. And back again, and let's clean that up. This one might be a little bit of kind of give and take until we get it feeling right, like it's in that sweet spot where it's working well. So we're going to keep this one pretty locked in, because it's just a counter animation really. Here we go. And maybe we'll lower the front feet steps a little bit more. Go higher. Let's see. No. Just getting a lot of knee pops in there. Let's look at the head. Maybe we'll do a little bit of bounce there. So go a little bit back here, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, and there again. And let's clean it up. See, we got off. It's always good to make sure. I like to kind of, I'm not saying perfect, but at least clean stuff while I go. Because sometimes, if you're doing kind of a straight ahead method, you can lose your way very easily if you're not trying to keep things clean while you're working. Go a little more on the down. So a little more here. Not a lot more, a little more. And maybe a little less overall. It's pretty close though. There we go. And let's look at these shoulders. Take another look here. See, we actually go up too high. I think that's the problem, because these feet are actually lifting up off the ground there. So we're going to have to take another look at our translate Y's here and scale them back so they don't leave the ground. Little less poppy at the knees now. And let's take another look now. popping, or is it just appearing that it's popping? So maybe it's just this first one that's a little too far forward. So we'll just go in, just give a little bit of bend there to it. Let's see. What if we just did a little bit of that overall? How would that change stuff? It's a lot less. It's not, I don't like it as much, but at least it cleans up some. So let's see if we can find a good medium spot there. Okay, let's put a little bit on this side here as well. A little bit of forward. Okay, and it's not perfect, but if we want to get this done in an hour, we're not going to be able to do it full pass here on the knees and still get everything. And let's zero that out. We'll go ahead. Dang. Thought there might be a ball roll kind of a feel here. We'll go there. 1, 2. Zero it out again. Here. 1, 2. Out again. And here. And then we'll do a little bit of drag back there, drag back there, and there. Okay, and let's look at this foot. Good. Drag that back there. Lift it up here, 2 frames. We'll zero it out. Do a little bit of drag back there. Lift it up here, 2 frames. And zero it out. Drag it back here. Lift it up there, 2 frames, and zero it out. Yeah, let's see. And let's find a good balance in between the 2 feet, because I feel like the one that's further away from screen is a little bit over exaggerated. So let's try and find a good middle ground somewhere in there. And this is probably too low, so we'll take everything and just pull it back up a little bit more. I'm going to leave that one to be an outlier because that's where it's going to be looping back from there, so that's fine. These guys, let's have them land 1 frame sooner. so that the timing will be a little bit different as well there. Okay, and let's look at the hooves, and we'll do a little bit of drag there, a little bit of up, and then we'll zero it out. Keep that. So we'll go 3 frames in, and we'll drag it back 1 frame before, and then here, zero it out. Okay, and 3 frames in, we'll drag it back up there. 1 frame later, we'll zero it out. And then it goes. Okay, so let's see how that feels. Just so there's a kind of different feel between the front legs and the back legs. Okay, and let's take a look at this foot here. So 3 frames in, we'll do a little bit of drag back, lift it forward, go here, zero it out. And 3 frames in, drag it back, push it forward, come here, and we'll zero it out. And then 3 frames in, drag it back, push it forward a little bit more. And we'll zero it out there, so that we have a little bit here. Yeah, let's see how that feels. Alright, feels alright. Let's do a little bit on the tail here. So let's go 3, and we'll go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, back and forth. Get a little bit of wiggle on this tail, and go back here again. Alright, let's clean that up. It feels like it's a fairly good amount, it's just not very balanced, so. And we'll loosen it up towards the end of the tail here as well. Let's see how that feels. Feels like it could be a little bit more overall, so I'll just exaggerate the forward and the back a little bit more. Maybe actually we'll go back a little bit because we're going to loosen up the ends of the tail here as well. So let's go in, out, in, out, in, and out here. And back again. Looks like other way around. Invert it here. Let's get it back there. Let's see. There we go. And probably a little bit less. It's a little over the top. I like most of this movement to still feel kind of stiff, like it's just coming from the root on this one, rather than it's really floppy. So I still want to loosen it up, but I feel like this is a little too much right now, so let's scale it back. There we go. And we'll grab the tip here, and we'll do this one on 3. It goes that way. And it goes out. Back in. Back out. I feel like I'm going to have to reapproach this one. It feels like it's a little too much, or I might be going the wrong direction here, so we'll see once we watch it, see how it works or it doesn't. actually delay everything about 2 more frames. Let's see it now. Let's invert it. See if that's better. Maybe I'll just keep it back with the same timing that I did the other part on 5s. Yeah. I think that's probably a better answer. Maybe delay it 1 frame rather than really loosen this thing up so much. Because like I said, I kind of want the feeling of it sticking straight up or straight out. So I don't want to loosen it up too much. Too much in, so I'll scale those back a little bit. But that's better. Like I said, I still want a sense of kind of stiffness to this tail. So let's see. Let's delay it 1 frame and see how that feels. That's better. And maybe a little bit less here. Yeah, it feels about right. Still feel like I want to do a little more up and down here. But can't really do too much more up because then the feet were lifting off, so maybe I'll just have to do that. Still at like a big jump down so quickly. It's cycling a little funky. Let's grab everything here and I'll just delay that last frame more. Just see if it'll cycle a little bit better. See, there's just that little bit of drop that's too quick. I almost just want to give us one more frame here. Nah, it's not fixing it. Just go back to the translate Y's and we'll just kind of revert. It's a little bit better, I guess. Alright, and let's look at the ears now. Let's do a I'll probably loosen it up a bit as well. Okay, let's see that now. Okay, and then we'll take the ears. And we'll go back a little bit with them. And then 5 frames from there, go forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Try to loosen them up just a little bit more. Don't need a lot, but a little bit will help here. Okay. Again, we'll clean that up a little bit more. Because we don't need a lot of movement in those, but just so there's more than just kind of one controller that's shifting here. Yeah, let's see it now. Okay, probably still a little too much. Scale it back a little bit more. Yeah, let's see it now. There we go. And let's take the last portion of the ear here, and we'll delay it one more frame. Alright, except for the little bit of kind of hiccup that we have from the loop, I feel like that's working okay. So let's take everything we have here, we'll grab it, and we'll go to the last frame, we'll push that off one frame, so that way we have a little bit of movement between the last frame that we're looking at and the next frame, so that it doesn't hold for that 2 frames. Still think it's the translate Y that's really giving us that problem here. So let's just try and find a middle place to start from that's a little bit better. Might just be the frame playback speed. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. I think it's just the playback speed that I'm looking at. Alright, I think that works. We could definitely spend another hour or so cleaning it up and really pushing, get some really nice, sharp, straight legs in the front feet and everything. But I think it works. It's functioning. So let's take a look back at where we started. We're looking at the beautiful work of Greig Rapson, and he said, fill those sketchbooks. It's simple, but it's to the point. Do it. Just do it. Quit talking about it and just do it. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, hopefully you set aside some time today to take another step in your journey to master whatever medium it is that you are wanting to be the king of, or at least hitting the next level in. So thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. You guys are amazing. You're wonderful. I totally believe in you. If you're watching this, remember that you are the creative future. And we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.